This is a pretty surreal feeling because we're about to board this boat. We're standing right now at the end of the world in Ushuaia, Argentina, about to hop onto this hybrid-powered boat to take us to Antarctica. So we're gonna see what this has in store, and we're gonna take you guys along with us. Woo!
Guys, the thought that we are about to go on a boat to go to Antarctica is insane. I think it's like, we've had this plan now for probably 2 months, and it hasn't felt real until this point. Seeing the boat, seeing the zodiacs, like, this is about to be so cool.
The excitement is just starting to build. I feel like we spent a lot of time prepping for this, and we spent the day exploring Ushuaia, which is a really cool place, but now walking on the dock, it's starting to feel real that we're about to board this boat for 10 days.
And we are absolutely gonna give you guys all of the deets of how this trip came about, what it costs, what we plan to experience, and everything that's on board this hybrid-powered ship. Right there's the pride of Norway, Fridtjof Nansen.
There are 4 boats docked. Ours is actually the biggest one. Ours holds about 300 passengers, so we'll see what it looks like when we get on board.
We have ropes. So we are finally on board the ship and cruising away to Antarctica. Such a crazy feeling, and we are so excited to show you guys the rest of the ship. But before we do, we figured that we should take a step back and tell you guys what the heck we are doing here.
But let's go inside real quick because we are facing the elements right now. We are getting cold and it is really loud out here. So we'll tell you about the rest in a second.
So for some context of why we're deciding to go to Antarctica seemingly last minute is pretty much just an opportunity once again came into our lap. Very similar to how we went to Bermuda last minute with my parents and my family. Same deal with this one. My mom is turning 60 years in December, so she wanted to go out with a bang. She found this awesome trip and they invited us with probably about another 6-week to maybe 2-month heads up. And I feel like I had to do a lot of convincing to Brendan because I was like, this trip seems so cool, but we had 24 hours to tell them if we wanted to join. So we're crunching numbers, seeing if we can even afford to do a trip like this because we knew that this was gonna be a trip of a lifetime. So we decided to go, and we're actually here not only with my parents, but also my brother and his now wife. So of course we wanna give you a tour of the ship, but first we will give you a tour of where we are staying. Oh, we're getting right into it? You don't want to do the tour? So for our room tour, right out here is the balcony that we were just on talking to you guys. It is a pretty deep balcony, and our chairs and stuff are tied to the wall because of the shakes of the Drake Passage. Open this real quick. We have some birds. We saw some penguins earlier, just traveling like a pack of dolphins. I mean, the wildlife out here is just insane. And we're not even at land yet, but it's loud and cold, so back inside. This is our bed. The biggest complaint we have is they give you like 2 single comforters. I think it's supposed to be warmer. They really give you like a half-size comforter for each, which is like really weird for us. But we have our bed. They give you these seats. They have something against couches. I think the idea is that it's easier to get up from these seats if it's very shaky out. Just like that, I'm up, you know? We have our TV. We have a trash can that's very well labeled, which I will leave this to Brendan later on to tell you guys about all the sustainable initiatives on the ship. They give us a little desk here that we've honestly just been putting stuff on top of. This is kind of, I guess, the bar countertop type area. You have wine, they gave us a bottle of champagne, and then a fully loaded mini fridge, which everything is included. So it's very nice that all the beverages on the ship are like all inclusive. Here we have bathroom. And the bathroom also has heated tiles, which is super nice. It's very similar to an RV, which is kind of hilarious. Like very RV-sized bathroom, which I think is great. And then these are just closets, kind of, you can see how tight it is. Nothing too crazy, but every room on board is on each end of the boat, which is really nice. So everybody gets like a view of outside and the wildlife. And then of course we're at the door, and that is the room tour. We'll pass it to Brendan to tell you a bit more about the boat.
Oh, close. Now, this boat that we're on is pretty interesting. It is by HX Expeditions, and it's not your average cruise ship. Now, both Gabby and I have been on a handful of boats, and this one is very special. One, because it is much smaller than most cruise ships that we've been on before. There's a total passenger capacity of 500 people. On this trip, there's only about 300, and the total ship length is about 450 feet. It is specifically designed to take on some of the roughest waters in the world, because when leaving from Ushuaia, Argentina, to get to Antarctica, you have to go through the Drake Passage, which is known to have some of the craziest waves in the world. So the boat is built for really high performance, taking on large waves, but they also do it in a really cool way, because this boat is one of only 2 hybrid-powered cruise ships in the world. The other one is also from HX, and it's a Norwegian company, and they have a hybrid powertrain that allows them to save up to 20% efficiency than a normal cruise ship.
And that is just one part of the sustainable focus of HX Expeditions. Other things that they do is that they have banned all single-use plastic items on board. So they give every room a reusable water bottle that is yours to keep. So they have water filling stations all across board. They also track food waste every single day, and they have it displayed on TVs. So it makes you very mindful about what you're eating and what you're letting go to waste. They also have the option, kind of like a do not disturb tag, but it's like a green clean tag, meaning that you don't want them to clean your room. So every time you use this green tag on your room, they donate €0.50 per person, per room, per night. So over the entire course of a season, that adds up to a lot of donations. Let's take you to the top deck, and I definitely need to grab my jacket again. Let's go.
So up top, on the top deck, this is deck 11 on the ship. It's actually our first time being up here today. There's some sitting snow on the ground, which is pretty cool. There is an outdoor track, and there's also some workout areas along the top deck. I'm not thinking they're gonna get a lot of use on this trip, but the boat does travel all over the world from the North to the South Pole, so maybe there's some trips where this gets a little bit more use. Okay, so this just loops around the front, but this can kind of give you a sense of how big the ship is. It's probably only about, what would you say, how wide? Maybe like
70 feet?
I was gonna say 50 feet. Let's say 50 to 70 feet. But some places to sit outside in this 20-degree weather.
And this red line that's here, this is supposed to simulate a running track. I believe it's about 10 laps to a mile. I've yet to see anybody out here ever running.
Up here on the left is some of the workout equipment. We definitely want to try to use this one day, but it's pretty cold. Maybe another day.
So there's multiple areas of like monkey bars and pull-up bars. And I think the funniest thing is their recommendations of what sort of workouts you should do. They start with muscle ups. They get some human flags in there. If you want to do a back lever. The average age on the ship has to be around 50 to 65 years old. I haven't seen any 60-year-olds doing muscle ups yet. Can you do those monkey bars?
Oh my God, they're wide.
They're super far. Wow, good job. My hands are freezing from holding this camera, so I'm impressed. Okay, let's go back inside, back inside. Go, go, go!
Oh my God.
Ah, open the door!
On this floor, we have the hot tub and sauna area, which we will show you right now. All right, let's go. Okay, this is our second time in the sauna, and the first time that it's been empty, so first time we've been able to record. But
first time it was slammed. This time it is just us.
yeah, it is super nice though. The snow is kind of flurrying outside. We've got a great view and just a really nice, relaxing time. And last but not least is the hot tub.
In the effort for the boat to be more sustainable in the resources it uses, to not burn as much fuel, they actually use the excess engine heat to heat up the hot tubs and the pool. So kind of a fun fact that I think is cool.
Okay, back to the rest of the tour.
So on deck 10, we have the sauna, the hot tubs, and the Explorer Lounge, which is pretty much like a big bar hangout, common for like reading books, having a drink. It does feel like the library, so we'll keep our voices down. But it's very large, always tons of seats. But what's really nice is windows on both sides. So you can take a look out at like any wildlife. Like we were working here earlier because the boat does, which is something we didn't mention, but the boat does have Wi-Fi included for everyone. It's done by Starlink, and we've definitely noticed the more south that we've gone, the worse the signal has been. It's not super reliable. And this is the bar where you can order any of your alcoholic drinks, but something that we have loved is lattes, cappuccinos, hot chocolates, all that entirely included, and they do have almond, oat, and soy milk. Look, it says to remain in the library, so I guess it is a library, but they have plenty of board games to help time pass by. Oh, look. As we've been showing you guys this room, we have spotted, I don't know if you can see right up there, but our very first iceberg. Man, it looks so small, I'm sorry guys, but it's right there.
Heading down to the restaurant.
So there's 3 restaurants on board. One of them on the 9th floor. I'm probably gonna say all of these names wrong. Lindstrom. This is for suite guests only, which we are not. My parents are, so they have been eating here. If you're not a suite guest, you can pay 35 euros per person to eat here, which we are good with the included food, so we don't eat here. I will say though, their menu has been like kind of whack. Like I looked at yesterday's menu, it had like reindeer on it. Not our vibe.
Very obscure items.
Now we'll show you the other 2 restaurants located on the 6th deck, which those are our 2 eatery options.
This is one of the restaurants that we've gone to a few times. It's closed right now, so it's hard to show you the inside, but this is more of a buffet style, but you do have to check in at the counter and get a seat, so it's not just a free-for-all. Also a part of this eating experience includes being segmented into groups, so everyone is assigned either whales, albatross, penguins, or petrels. We are in the penguins group, so every day we have to look to see what time the dining area is available to us. You probably could go in another time, but it's best to do your best to kind of segment people and not have everyone come in and get crazy all at once. They also have this hand washing station, which they ask that everyone washes their hands before coming into the restaurant. Just good to be sanitary, especially when you're on a ship with 300 to 500 other people. And the other dining area is up here. There's honestly only about 8 to 10 tables to sit at, so we've had to wait for a while to try to get a group of 6, but the thing that's kind of cool that this one does is takeaway orders, so you can either come up to the counter or order it from your phone, and they basically have a box ready for you to take back to your room and eat whenever they have the kitchen open. This is not open 24/7, I would say. You can get this type of stuff maybe 8 to 10 hours a day, but this is kind of a reliable option that we are using as a fallback when everything else is closed.
So kind of interesting that the boat has no room service except for the very top level suites, which is probably like 10 rooms. Honestly, we can have no complaints about, we're easygoing people. But this one is called the Fridtjof. Feel free to correct me in the comments if you know how to pronounce that. So we have the locked up gift shop, not always open. Reception, hi. And then down here we have the Science Center. Maybe it has a better name than that, but we'll show you guys. It kind of makes me feel like I'm back in school. So there's all sorts of like, I don't know, it just kind of feels like a giant classroom. Like here you have like an interactive map that you can just kind of play around with. We have a library, books, all sort of fossils and stuff. And right now they're all covered up, but they have a ton of microscopes that they get samples, because the boat is really cool that they actually work with the University of Tasmania, that they bring researchers on board. So not only is this like a tourism ship, it's very much so like a science ship. So that way we can understand the Antarctic better and how that affects the rest of the world. And then this is the lecture hall. This is where they come to inform you about landings, excursions that you're doing. And something that's really nice is somebody will be up here and talking when there is a lecture going on. It's actually streamed to your room as well, which we're totally guilty of doing this, is that we've stayed in bed and watched a lecture because we have not gotten up early enough to attend like a 9 a.m. lecture.
And one last deck that we have that we show you, there's kind of a secret entrance. I couldn't talk because it was so crowded in there, but that was our first sight of real land of our Antarctica, and people are freaking out.
So we've seen the Science Center observation deck. Now, something that we have been using every day, especially to get our steps, because this is a small boat, is the gym. Which I will say, the gym is, I think, a little too small for this boat. It's typically always busy. So you have 3 treadmills that are always taken. You have some bikes, a row machine, you have free weights, and some machines. There's also just like a little stretching area, but this is it for 300 to 500 passengers. I think on this boat, we have like 320 passengers or so. So 1 treadmill per 100 people.
Oh, it's blocked off.
So we are on the 4th floor. What we wanted to show you was the 3rd floor, which is blocked off here. But the 3rd floor is the Expedition Launch, which is the perfect place for us to end this video, because Expedition Launch is where we get to go on all of our adventures once we go on shore to the continent of Antarctica. This we will be doing tomorrow, so we will absolutely catch you guys next week for all the adventures that we'll be doing, as we'll be spending 5 days on the continent. We hope you enjoyed this tour as much as we enjoyed this boat. And guys, any questions you have, please do drop those in the comments down below, and we'll see you next week.